Mayor Helps, ladies and gentlemen of the council, my name is Keith Rosenberg. I had the honor of serving the guns. I'd like to speak on the motion put forth by Mr. Isaac on June 6th of this year, D-Day, that the Ministry of Defence pay for Remembrance Day proceedings as it's a military occasion, or words to that effect. For those who voted against it, I would offer my heartfelt thank you. For those who voted for it, you should be ashamed of yourselves. The motion is an incredible injustice to the men and women that risked their all for Canadian values and freedoms, and should now have to stand before their council to remind them the concept of duty before self. Perhaps I should remind you that November 11th is a community event, that in reality the military are the guests of honor and not the organizers. I cannot stress enough that November 11th was not started by the military. It was created as a way for the communities to acknowledge the fallen and their sacrifices, and definitely not to glorify war. Ignorance is an opportunity for education. As a soldier, I've been spat at, physically assaulted, and called things like baby killer. I accepted the fact that this was done out of pure ignorance. As a veteran, I've been slapped in the face for my service from every level of government now, all for doing the job that only 0.01% of the populace will ever do. No one begs for peace more than a soldier, as we are the ones who have to go off and fight, not you who sit behind your desks. It is we that have to see the horrors politicians inflict on others. It is we who must shed our blood to pay for your freedoms. Yes, we are trained to fight. We are trained to defend you and your freedoms. We are also trained to care and to do those jobs that haunt us when we come home. We clean up the bodies of the people that other governments deem unworthy of living, like the Kurds in Iraq, the victims of ethnic cleansing in Bosnia. We protect the innocents' rights to education in places like Afghanistan. In Cyprus, we keep the peace between two warring countries, and we set the bar high with only one contingent when every other country sent two, and we had the roughest area to patrol. We bear the visible and invisible wounds from these things. The price that any soldier may ever owe has been paid in blood of the fallen, the sleepless nights of those who relive the nightmares after returning home, and by the families that are broken up because we cannot get the help that politicians have promised us. How much more blood do we need to shed? How many more veterans must take their own lives to turn to self-medication to forget the horrors we have experienced? How often must we scream that we are in pain before you as politicians say enough shaming and ignorance and actually remember that everything we face to protect the ones back here are the ones that we love? It is my hope that the City Council will issue an immediate written apology to the veteran community, and then Mr. Isaac will step down from his office for the insult he has handed to the veterans. But I doubt we'll even get a sincere apology from him. I feel the need to remind this historian that those who refuse to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Please think about this over the next $10,000 catered lunch that the City Council has. This council has made our city the laughing stock of the Commonwealth with some of the more recent motions, and I'm now ashamed to admit that I live here. It is indeed a sad state when local businesses like London Drugs feel they have to step up to do what our elected officials refuse to do. Thank you.